Hello, Patreon viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Sloss and Humphries on the Road Patreon special.
That's public.
Is this public? Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, I'll still start off by thanking the Patreon people because you actually pay to keep the shit show running. The rest of you tight arse cunts, I mean, fair enough. It's free content. It's there to be enjoyed. But it says a lot about you that you're not spending money on the good stuff. In today's episode, we talk about Kai's new business adventure and his hard U-turn on everything he used to stand for, his betrayal to himself, how he's let himself down overall, just in general. Kai, from the ages of 0 until 35, would kick the shit out of current Kai now, and that's just something I still live with. I respond to the alleged controversy. Some people yelled online, which is what they're entitled to do. I've basically surmised my stance on the whole thing. And then also, there's a really good Holocaust joke in this one. I think it's a long play, and the time is not perfect, but the punchline, I think, is. So, Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Hello, mate.
Are you above getting a cleaner?
Am I above getting a cleaner?
Aye.
I would absolutely get a cleaner.
Yeah.
If you know what, I wouldn't want me cleaner to just be doing me tidying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to go and, I've made a mess, will you sort that out?
Well, that was always the bit I remember in like primary school and high school. The thing I always did my nutting. It's not until I got older that I realised what it was actually about. The teachers would be like, well, the cleaners were in last night and they were complaining about the mess you all made yesterday.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I guess she picked the wrong day to be a fucking cleaner then. Like that's what a weird thing to complain about. And then as an adult, I'm like,
yeah.
No, like of course they're correct. Like,
tidying and cleaning is different things.
It's entirely different things. Cleaning is getting to the bit that nobody else is going to do. You know, where bacteria is going to grow, the corners of the room, the bits where all the fucking bits of food and gum get.
You can't wipe all the benches down, which is what you want your cleaner to do, is wipe down your benches and clean your benches. You can't do that if you've just left all your fucking shite all over it.
So to all the cleaners I bad-mouthed in both primary school and high school, I'm very sorry, I was wrong.
Well, you admitting being wrong.
Aye. I admit to be wrong.
I would do it more and more often every day.
Yeah. I wonder if that's growth, or I wonder if it's giving in.
Can I ask you if you noticed the shit you got on social media yesterday?
Oh, no, but Cara let me know. Me and Cullen were playing FIFA, and she was like, people are not happy with you on Instagram.
People hated you on social media yesterday.
And I was like, oh, well, what about what? She was like, oh, the fucking home birth thing. Now, when you said that clip to me in the morning, I'm like, man, this is going to be a spicy fucking...
Did you think that?
Oh,
I thought nothing of it, mate.
Oh, man. Oh, no, because I've gone through it, man. Everyone is so, like... I say it in the show, the most easily upset people in the world are parents, because there's 1,000 ways to do it right and there's 1,000 ways to do it wrong, and you don't know which version you're doing until it's...
So you try to fight your corner, that mine's the right way.
No,
and even if that means going yours is the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yours is the wrong way, otherwise mine's the wrong way. So I'm going to say you're wrong.
Yeah, and people get, fucking defensive about it. So when it came through, I was like, oh man, I know there was like a longer bit, and also like it's a podcast fucking clip. It's me and, when I'm doing a bit, but that's sort of lost in that. So I was like, man, this is spicy, but fucking, all right, you've said it to me, put it out. I was going to do something being like, can't wait to read the comments on this, and then was just like, I'll not even fucking acknowledge it. Sent it out, and then Cara was just reading me some of them, and I was like, fair enough.
Man, you know what was
fair enough, interested. She was like, I'm out of play. I'm like, don't engage. Nah. For me, man, the internet, right? It's you ever seen that like YouTube video of the guy, and there's like this massive coop of like 3,000 chickens, right? Mm-hmm. And he opens it up, and he goes, go, 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 go. And they all, it's turkeys, obviously, I'm gobbling, sorry, right? And they all then, go back. And he just go. That's the internet, right? If you open up and you yell into it, the internet will yell backwards, right? And you can yell as long as you want. They're never going to stop yelling back. But you can't just not...
You can't just open that and go, just shut up, God! Shut up, you turkeys! Listen, I've got a valid... You stop gobbling and then listen.
And look, sometimes it feels nice to yell at the fucking turkeys. For years I yelled at the turkeys. For years I tried to out-yell the turkeys. And then now I'm like, man, people are upset by that. fair enough. If they fuck off, fair enough. You're not going to enjoy the rest of my stuff. This is all the natural part of the process in comedy, I believe.
Yeah.
You say some things, people either like it or they don't, and the people that like it flock to you, and the people that don't, fuck off. It's...
Jack, go to the Instagram and find Dave Longley's comment on that. You're probably going to have to do it on your phone, I imagine. Find Dave Longley's comment on that one, because this is what I loved about it. We've talked about it on the podcast, and a lot of people are onto it now. Dave Longley comments on every single clip that we do, and we do 4 or 5 clips a week. In every single one, he wholeheartedly complains like a Karen about what you just said, right? And he always says like something like and whatever they were talking about is the specialist of. And in this particular one, he was like, as an obstetrician? Pediatrician.
Oh, well, no. So pediatricians for babies.
So anyway, Jack's going to read it out in a second, right? But he does his talk and whinge that everybody likes and adores. And always, there's about 6 or 7 likes on it. And when I look, it's always me and you and Sid and Rudy and just a couple others, right? Read that out.
As a trained obstetrician, I have to take issues with this. Hospitals are an incredibly dangerous place to give birth, full of disease, disinterested nurses on a production line, and power-hungry medics craving another statistic. Home births are relaxing and safe. The continued medialization of birth is one of the travesties facing modern medicine. Women are programmed to act a certain way by movies and television, so act up when in hospital, continually moaning and being led to believe that they shouldn't experience pain. A home birth is a more natural and sage solution. Once again, more women hatred, and frankly, I'm seriously considering unfollowing because this is one of the worst clips I've ever seen in my life.
Jack, how many likes?
58.
58 likes, mate. And people in the comments, women in the comments saying, thanks. The heartfelt thanks. And he said women are trained by television to act up in hospital. And then these women that read the first 3 lines are like, finally, somebody said it.
that big bald white man who is only fit to use him is either deadlifting or admitting he's a closeted homosexual.
It's so funny. It's so funny that it just got... He's been doing the bit for so long, and it's just steeped in so much irony that even when people find out he's a comedian...
If you live too long as a villain, you might live long enough to once become the hero.
The Karen Whisperer. So anyway, based on your growth, do you stand by your home birth thing now that your child's been born and you've
100%, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. Like, Cara was reading some of this stuff out and she was like, I want to say this. I'm like, Cara, just don't say anything. She's like, but she's what? I'm like, just don't engage. Look, you can find a bunch of articles that prove to you that home birthing is the best thing for your child, and I can find a bunch of articles that prove hospitals the fucking best. But neither of us are going to be fucking moved on this thing, right? And you don't care, right? If you give birth at home, you think I'm mental, right? Oh, sorry, I think you're mental. I think it's an insane thing to do. Like, one of the comments Cara read out, which I was like, valid-ish, was he's not taking into account how much healthcare costs, and I'm like, oh, right, okay, fair enough. But again, you took that out of context. You took my comments and you applied it to the fucking world, where I was doing a fucking British podcast while I was in Scotland, talking about my wife giving birth
and the Zoom call you were on with a Scottish, they took a bit of their own context and skewed yours.
But fair enough. But the context wasn't there. Like, this is what happens when you put stuff out on the internet. These are the consequences. But the rest of it, no. I think when you've got the fucking NHS and every doctor I spoke to when I was very outwardly spoken about my opinions on home birth, they were like, "Oh man, we find it insane, but obviously we're not allowed to say anything." Now you have a different experience. Fine, give birth at fucking home. I think you're mental. That shouldn't matter to you. I'm a cunt on a podcast.
Aye.
And if it does, all right,
cool. Hope you're okay. But we're talking about going back on things that we've set our stall out on, which is a danger of running a podcast for 7 years. Mm-hmm. Is that you're gonna have said stuff, and obviously, like, you got took to task about your U-turn on shoes,
and rightfully so. I've been called. Look, hey. I also have been rightfully called out about doing stuff about being a dad on stage. I'm just a different person.
People have called you out on, even though you've defended yourself pretty well on this, people have called you out on Jigsaw, the breakup show, and then getting married immediately after its release.
Yeah.
But we'll have unpacked that as like, that's not what it was. If that's what you took it as, then that's your business, whatever. I've went a step too far.
Oh,
with,
you have.
with the U-turn on the dog thing.
You've not only turned around, you've doubled down.
I've U-turned like the Tory government.
Yeah.
on his stance on dogs. Daniel, can I tell you what I did today?
Uh-huh.
I mean, look, I can palm this off on Natalie as much as I want, right?
Yep.
This is Natalie's thing, but I'm there with her in a corner on her side as I shook hands with a man to agree terms on a lease
For now. You're prolonging the marriage. You spoke to her dad, and you're going to rent it for another couple of years. Great. Awesome.
Yep,
Congrats, man.
I called her Lisa by accident, and I was like, how am I going to get out of this one? So I leased her.
Thank you for turning my old school sexism into just a real awful pun. Really, I think helped take the stank off it.
So we've looked at a unit on Tuesday. And I was like, I don't want to marry her, so I'll have Natalie.
No, hold on. Now I'll do a pun to get you out of this. No.
So we went to a unit, and we are going.
When you say unit, describe it to me.
It's in a business park.
Okay.
It's
What else is in the business park?
It's a 3,000 square meter unit.
Well, you could that does nothing for my visual imagination.
Well, it's somewhere that's big enough to throw a ball for a dog in a doggy soft play that I'm going to open with my wife.
So you're telling me that it's got enough room to swing a cat?
It does, but it would get chased by
Aye.
a lot of dogs.
Yeah. I'm assuming we would rather be chased by the dog that swung around a fucking room like you, you psycho.
Who's measuring a room like that? Why is that a unit of measurement?
That's somebody's bet. I can't remember whose.
I think it might be John Whale. It might be part of a bigger bit where he had like a bunch of, like it was part of a flurry of bits, like letting the cat out the bag.
Oh,
okay,
okay,
skin
yeah.
a cat. So like he was just like, the cat's always the victim of these idioms. I think it was a portion of that. And basically we've been talking about it for a while, but you know, like, Natalie doesn't do coke, but very much coked up into the session here as a business idea, right? We're speculatively talking about indoor dog exercise, right, for like people that just didn't want the house to be up to the eyes when it's chucking it down a rain and it's wet and it's damp. People
Vampires?
Vampires?
No, vampires. Don't. How dare you? Just
I thought
regular
you-
vampires. Just regular vampires.
You said vampires.
I absolutely did not.
You punned.
Fucking how dare you?
Vampires.
We could have. Hey! We could have got to vampires at the end, right? That could have been the punchline eventually. But you don't fucking try and slip it into my mouth and put your hand up my ass and tell me we're doing comedy.
So dogs that like even retired people who may not be able to walk as far, but the dog still needs exercise. Because we're going to have park benches in this place, and we're going to have some activities for the dogs, like agility beams and
A what beam?
agility beam. You know, like the
Like a seesaw.
We could put a seesaw in.
Like they run up one side, go down the other one.
Stuff like that, mate. Soft play for dogs.
Fucking wee tiny poodle on one end, and then fucking big St. Bernards on the other. Do it.
Then you can do the joke that you recycled about 10 times about the skateboard.
Oh yeah, God, man. That was.
You want to put a stoner loop with that joke for a bit there.
Well, no, it was in my set.
Had to move the needle off the record.
Man, it was a bit in my set that never fucking popped. I'm like, man, because sometimes it would get the stoners in the room. Sometimes, like, we'd be in Colorado, and then that joke we get a bigger laugh, and I'm like, finally, my audience.
You're like, I'm going to find the word for this.
It's
However
funny.
many years I've got to fuck.
I'll get it there. I've got to try. I've got to try my moves on somebody. I'm not going to do it in front of the mirror.
So we speculated about this for a little while, right? And we're looking them up, and there was one at the north side of Glasgow, which is like an hour away from where we stay. And apart from that, I think that was the only one we found in Scotland. There's a couple down in like Kent, and one in Wales somewhere. It's really like it's not a market that's been tapped, right? And it's something that we want as customers. So we're there as customers going, we'd like that, and I'm just going.
You want a posh doggy daycare.
But it's not even a daycare. It's somewhere you spend time with your dog still.
Aye.
Like you just take your dog, but you're not like, you're looking at the window, and it's fucking shitty, and it's chucking it down.
Aye.
You go in and just chill it with your mates and have a coffee.
What else is it? What else is in the retail park with you?
There's a gym.
Uh-huh.
There's a baby sensory thing where they do like parent and toddlers come in and do all kinds of activities with lights and sounds and feel and touch.
We did one of those today.
Yeah.
Just me and Cara.
Just you two.
Yeah,
just
like
left killing it all.
Mum.
You were just like squishing some different textures in our face and that.
Yeah. People are like, do you have a kid? We're like, yeah. How old's he? 8 months. What's his name? Kale. Where is he?
Anyway,
Is your kid done with that jello?
stop interrupting. I'm trying to. So there's going to be a dance studio in the space next door to ours, which is good because it's like anywhere where there's going to be noise pollution, you want that mutual noise pollution thing, don't you?
Yeah.
You're like, if we got barking dogs and you've got music on, fucking good. I'll shake hands on that. You don't have to be like, oh, we're going to do like this.
Sorry, are you just using the lie that you used on Natalie when you went what's next door and they went to ballet studio and you went yes. Oh, because the noise, Natalie, the noise. Is that what you were doing?
no, but you're like change the subject a bit. But I want to get back on it with doggy softly.
Right.
I was at the gym yesterday, right? And I've been going to that gym since February, right? And when I signed up in February, I got told I've got 3 sessions with a personal instructor as part of my membership, right? And probably for them, it's like a fucking maggot on the end of the hook. Have your 3 sessions, realise you're training quite well with a personal instructor and buy more, right? But I'm like, I know how I'm training, but I also like free stuff. And at the minute, when we training, I'm doing the same stuff every time I go in. And I'm like, you know what? For a bit of variety, I'm going to cash in. I've got like a couple of months left. I'll cash in these personal instructor sessions, right? And I'll maybe go, right, wherever I hit a sticking point with me back, I'll just say, can I get a PT session? I'll just train me back for an hour, pick up the tips that I get off him, and then add them to my training session.
Yeah.
Right? And then this is just mulling through my head while I'm in the gym, right? And then I go to the machine next to the office and just see the back of somebody's head talking to Josh, the lad who like works there, who signed us up. And I was like, oh, as soon as he's finished with that customer, I'll go in and I'll ask about my PT session, right? And that customer got up and walked out and was a very attractive new PT. Now I can't then just waltz into the office and go, oh mate, about that PT session you offered us 8 months again. Is there any chance I can have it the day? Yeah, you've just given the induction to that new member of staff. Is there any chance? No, not with you. Not with you. Who else you got?
Yeah, she's on her lunch break. Now that you mention that, I am hungry. Yeah.
Where should I have a lunch? Can you? Mate, I would have looked like an absolute pest, so I think I'm going to not be able to have my PT sessions until I can find a day she's not at graft. Otherwise I'm going to look like a beast.
I don't think that's a beast. I think that's just like a creep. That's like
nah.
You know, I'm getting into this hobby because you're the instructor. It's like one of those, you can't leave this relationship I'm trying to force.
Aye. Yeah.
Good, strong tactics of a lonely man.
So I literally fucking denied myself a PT session because I didn't want to look like a creep.
Right, so you've got
so
a ballet on one side.
So it's going to be... So this was like an extra part of the unit that we actually could have had as well, but we didn't want to overstretch by... Because the walls are like fucking movable and shit. But we didn't want to overstretch. So we're like... And it's going to take our business rates up and stuff. So like we left that and we're like, maybe we'll move into it one day. But it looks like a dance studio is going to be built in there. Okay. And that's going to be quite handy because, like I say, a mutual noise in it. Like you don't want your dogs barking while someone's doing yoga.
No, aye.
So...
Okay.
Like that's alright with that. But we've got a Diakani makeover on the place.
Oh yeah.
It was previously used as
AstroTurf.
Well, the flooring's been a discussion point because
is there any way that you could like just very subtly make it into like a big, like not necessarily a bowl type thing, but definitely a funneling point, so just that all the piss trickles into just one bit naturally, because I mean dogs are pissing in this place. What are they pissing on?
Well, that's what the floor's got to be. You got to have a sanitary station that's got poo bags and fucking blue roll and a spray, because you know, like when one dog's pissed in an area, then another dog's gonna sniff that and add to it. So you got to like wipe it and spray it. So like you give people the speech when they come in, just like fucking clean up after your dog. And obviously when I'm working reception, because I'm going to be doing fucking hundreds of hours at this gaff, right? I'm gonna be picking up shit for a living. I don't know how I found myself in this position. You know, I got out of the sports centre where I used to do a lot of cleaning and got myself into a job where I can just tag shite for a living.
Yeah.
And now I'm somehow going to find myself picking up shite again. You try to get out and it just sucks you back in. You know that famous quote from Godfather?
Yeah. You clean shit twice in your life. Once on the way up, and once on the way back down.
Yeah. But it was one of them things where it was speculative until we saw a venue that worked, and the guys would move into the venue on the first of the month for the start of the lease. If like you can make a decision, otherwise we're going to start showing it to other people because we need to get it used. And it just instantly become real fast as fuck. It just went from just like I said, cooked up in the kitchen. I've got a business idea to now pricing up the floors and fucking.
Well, if you would like some business ideas, I reckon if you on the wall get maybe 2 or 3 big, not hamster wheels, but doggy wheels, and then wire those up to the wiring and just
keep the lights on.
Yeah, just something I don't know what you dangle in front of a dog to get it to keep running on a fucking treadmill.
A cat.
Not a real one. What do greyhounds chase? Do they think it's a rabbit? Or are they...
that's a hare, isn't it?
A rabbit or a squirrel?
Aye.
Hare, squirrel.
Fucking fast squirrel.
You know them greyhounds that run up trees.
It's not a real one.
God, how fucking dumb are greyhounds though?
Are they very unintelligent?
Man, they chase the same thing that they've never got, and they've seen that it's nothing at the end over and over again consistently.
Are they doing it for fun? Does that actually work with a mule when you dangle a carrot? You know, the cliche of dangling a carrot.
Aye.
Does that work?
Aye, probably.
Yeah.
Or is the donkey just there like?
Probably just trying to stretch his neck and reach it and that.
I guess it would eventually. It must be. Let's buy a donkey.
I think you'd see it more often if it worked. I think you'd see it at the Grand National. I think there's a jump coming and you just gotta fucking yeet the carrot up. The horse is fucking launching itself to eat the carrot. Didn't even know there was a hurdle there. Look now.
So no, hold on. Why not put a carrot just on the end of the whip and then turn it into both? So it's one back to get it up the arse and then one forward to dangle it over, and then carrot on the end of the whip.
Oh yeah, the equestrian stuff.
Say it again.
Equestrian stuff.
Sure. Equestrian.
Yeah, you know what I meant. You think that's what they do on that? Is they fucking dangle carrots running that?
Yeah.
But the green screen. They're blocking out after the fact.
No, they've just got to do it in more more fluid movement, so it makes a horse dance instead of making it jump over. You've got to essentially do tap dancing with the little carrot to make it do the same thing.
Yeah, and all the films like Braveheart, all the battle scenes, that was all done with carrots. Right, we're gonna shoot the Battle of the Bastards. We're gonna need fucking 100,000 carrots. I've got an idea. Right, who's got some string? So that's gonna be my life for the next little while. I mean, I'm gonna be fucking off on tour for bits, but luckily it's the way we've done.
I don't want to step in the way of you and your dream job. So if this has to be us parting ways, I think Gareth will be more than happy to step up. He deserved it.
I think you've misjudged my stake in this operation. I am there to encourage it. I am there to help it happen.
Yeah.
But it's Natalie's business. But I'm just fucking 100% behind her on it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm looking for to anybody listening that can help. Somebody that can paint murals. Is that how you say it? Do you want to correct us on that now?
Murals.
Mural.
Muriel's a woman.
This is where I double down and just get a painting of Muriel on the wall of my dog soft.
You can have a mural of Muriel.
That's what I meant. I want a mural.
Mural.
I want someone that paints murals that could collaborate with her and get a mural on the end wall. Maybe some rolling hills or something. We've got these pillars in the middle of the If the
That was pillars, not pillows, just for everyone. Just for when the dogs are tired.
Have you noticed that I've gotten stupider since the vaccination? And you're like, oh my God, the vaccination gives people self-awareness. what an unlikely side effect. All the stupid people have finally realised. There's pillars.
Yeah.
In the middle of this.
Just pillars. We've just worked out that pillars in a Geordie accent just sounds like pillows as well.
It's true.
Say pillow fight.
I want them to pillow fight.
There you go.
I want them painted like the bark of trees.
Oh,
and then even
not the bark of a dog.
but good connection. Oh man, I'm good. You suggested Central Bark.
Yeah,
is the name of it. And we looked it up, and there's already a dog walkers in Glasgow called
I
Central
also,
Bark.
just for anyone that's out there that's like, oh my God, that's what a really nice, homely, funny name that Sloss came up with. I did also spend 5 minutes just trying to Google if I could just do like a dog Holocaust pun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, I was trying Holocaust. I wanted it to be like a Schnauzer,
you know what you're like,
Schnauzwitz.
Meowschwitz. Why couldn't you just have a cat shelter?
I know. I was like, there's got to be one. And I was like 7 minutes of Googling dogs and like Googling like the 7th.
Can I just, for the
camp.
record, I didn't want to throw you off what you were talking about there, but you did use the word homely instead of wholesome, and homely means ugly.
Homely?
Comely means good, attractive, and homely means
I thought
ugly.
homely meant...
Look up comely and homely. We'll call it comely and homely.
It just sounded like you were one of those people trying to speak pig Latin. Comely, homely.
What was I saying before? Oh, the name of it, right?
Aye.
Right. So we've got this list of names, all mostly puns, right? Like fucking.
It has to be.
Game of Bones.
Yeah.
Which Natalie likes that one, right? Because it's games, it's activities, it's fun, and bones, whatever, right? But I'm like, not everyone's on good terms with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's darling.
Yeah.
And also it has sexual connotations.
Yes, it does, yeah. And also...
Oh, Jack?
Yeah, homely means more like simple and basic and stuff, while comely's a lot more like eccentric.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was to do with appearance.
We can just call this...
It's like saying it's simple and plain, like it's nice, but it's a bit basic.
Aye. I would call myself basic.
Yeah, you're homely?
Yeah.
And I'm comely. Homely and comely. Why is this so funny? We're not even going anywhere with it. We just keep saying homely and comely. We've got nowhere to put it. It's a bit. It's like, hey, guys, I've got this bit. It's homely and comely. I mean, by doing this right now, we found something for it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck man, it's like a salvage mission. So, title of the podcast.
Yeah.
Homely and comely.
Yeah.
You could call it No Cats Allowed.
No cats.
No cats allowed.
No cats allowed.
Aye.
That's good. I went rough and tumble with RUFF.
Yeah.
Rough and tumble. Right? It's a soft play for dogs called Rough and Tumble. Fucking perfect. Let's go and look that up. Somebody's already doing a children's soft play called Rough and Tumble with dog logos. And it's nothing to do with dogs, and they've used rough, RUFF.
Well, that's...
It's a robbery. It's an absolute robbery.
Can you find out where their business, like, just on websites, and then maybe track
You just gotta keep turning up with me dog. You've got to rename this place, man. 8th time this week. That means I come twice on one day.
Me again!
Me again? What? It's not a dog. So like a lot of the good stuff's taken.
Central Park was taken, but what was Central Park taken by? Dog walking, sorry.
Yeah. So
Cara said the barking lot. I thought that
barking
was good.
lot was good.
Yeah.
I googled that, and there's something in Darlington called the barking lot. That I just saw some merch that I didn't really look into what it was. I do like the barking lot. But where do you draw the line on, like, do you have to have something completely original that's never been used anywhere? Like, I called my show Punch Drunk, right? But there's bound to be somewhere in the world, like, there's a film called Punch Drunk Love or something. Like at what point do you have to go and, they're just words, I can use them. Like, what's the trait? Like, this is stuff we've got to look into. This is that Natalie's got to be looking this up now.
I think, well, I mean, we also said you could do dog warts.
Dog warts.
And then
sounds like a medical condition.
Yeah, but also you could theme it like a dog Harry Potter world. So you could have like a little dog sorting hat. at the front, and they come in and they've got to wear like a certain type of colour scarf for their house, and then it's like pools. So it's like, all right, everyone with a blue scarf on, your time's up, that's you finished, right? Or you all fuck off, and right, yellow pants, you get in. And then I could give you a reason for randomly killing the dogs as well. Just tell them that like Voldemort's back. Yeah. Just get a theme. People like themes. It's got to be Instagrammable.
Just I don't get the link between murder and the dogs.
What? So if you've turned it, I'm just taking it to the extent of you've turned it into Dogwarts. They're all separated into the things that eventually you just start, because Voldemort start. Well, I guess you've got the point. It's not
spoilers,
Voldemort,
by the way. Spoilers. Very well.
You know Gareth what genuinely fucking claimed that on me, like fucking. It was.
You kind of do spoiler. Like I just done that as a bit, right?
Oh man, it could not have been more than 5 years ago. We were driving back from some music festival somewhere, and. We were driving past someone we knew was like shout something out the window, so I did the famous fucking thing from when the Half-Blood Prince was released, and the guy drove past the Waterstone selling them, and he just yells out, "Snape kills Dumbledore! Snape kills Dumbledore!" Right? So it's just like one of the first ever viral clips that went out, because there's all these people going, "No!" So I'm like, Gareth will laugh at this. I'm yelling it at a friend, so I could go past and go, "Snape kills Dumbledore," and he was like, "What?" I was like, "Snape kills Dumbledore." It's from the video. He's like, "I only just started reading Harry Potter." And I'm like, none of this is on me.
I can't believe that passed them by, because I didn't read Harry Potter until like 2015 or something.
Aye.
All of them were out by then, right? Yeah. I knew Snape killed Dumbledore. Like that was just like...
Yeah, it's like not knowing the Planet
Darth
of the
Vader's
Apes.
Luke Skywalker's father.
Aye. Yeah, or not knowing that Planet of the Apes is Earth.
It's
like
the
it's all,
future.
yeah. It's all...
It's a what? What? Oh my God.
So I'm just saying, if you were to say Dogwarts, I actually think is a very good idea, because look, you're not aiming for the working class here. You're aiming for people who've got money to spend on their dogs, losers, big
People
giant
like me.
losers. Yeah, and have your interest. Do you like Harry Potter?
I would be less inclined to go into a Harry Potter themed thing that I wanted to use. You know, if I wanted to go and use the gym down the road, right, but it was fucking Harry Potter themed gym, I'd go on an extra 5 miles to the next gym to not go into the Harry Potter themed gym.
Really?
And I like Harry Potter. I just didn't want to. I'm a fucking grown ass man.
Nah, to be fair, that is the gym where all the other gyms come to just afterwards to just beat all the other gym goers up. Be like, fucking, this will get my fucking axe down. We can't bar at the Harry Potter gym. Do you think there's enough of us? Aye,
Just me. I'm on my own. It could be sold out.
Aye, but that's gym goers. It's not people with dogs. Like the amount of people that go to cafes, man. People love their dogs. People, like if it's... Because when we were in New York, we went to a lot of places that were like, they were just so very clearly Instagrammable. Like that was the whole, there was the ice cream museum, there was the colour factory. Both were great. I'd recommend going to them. But it's just paying to go into a bunch of rooms, given free ice cream. And it's just very colourful and it's good for the gram. And then that just spreads the fucking word there. I'm telling you, Dogwarts would go viral. Little Slytherin dogs, little Ravenclaw dogs.
And you didn't like when Natalie said J.K. Rowling?
That was Cullen.
Was it Cullen?
Yes.
Was it? I always get them two mixed up.
Yeah.
All the time. Sometimes I just cuddle up round bed and I'm just like, whoa.
Hey.
I forgot I was at your house. And he always just like slips out like a bar of soap.
What are the good puns without?
You didn't like Total Recall, you didn't even get it, did you?
No, and then I did. Then I gave it 5 more minutes, and I was like, oh.
If you don't get it first time, it's not good enough.
Yeah. I've also... Well, no, I mean, I am an idiot.
It doesn't always have to be a pun either. Like, it's so expected for if you do something like this, it's got to be a pun. But I actually quite like the idea of making it, like the name of a pub.
Woofters.
Like the Woofters.
Woofters. Call it Woofters. The Woofters in.
Blazing Woofters. Like the bark and whistle or something. So it just sounded like a old pub.
Okay. The bark and whistle or the barking whistle?
Oh, Craig Hill suggested the dog in.
Oh, man.
The dog in.
That's good. That's very Craig.
Isn't it?
Aye. He would have I imagine he probably came out with the best suggestions.
Yeah.
Aye.
So half of that list that was sent you was his.
So are there is there ladies' nights?
Yeah, this is the thing we're going to do is we're going to have dogs that haven't been spayed. It's like as I discovered with Peggy, it's problematic taking a dog out for a walk and having them off the lead when boy dogs just fucking lose all of their domestication and become animals again to try and fuck your dog. Like we saw it with Gareth's dog trying to fuck Peggy. So it's we're gonna have like a ladies' night, which I think Bitches of Leisure would be a good name for that one.
And also weeds out the. Oh, I mean, people are gonna be offended by that, man.
Or Bitches of Leisure.
Aye.
Well,
There'll be
used to
certain
the
middle class people. They'll be like, oh no.
Not like half of my ideas, and half's an understatement, will not get past Natalie. Like half of the ideas are for the podcast.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, but there will be a ladies' night, and there will be like maybe like like one for older dogs that the grumpy old ones that growl at puppies that try and play with them, so they can just put around being grumpy, and then you'll have like
You should
small
do,
dog sessions, big dog sessions, birthday parties. I ordered for birthday, but listen to what I'm saying.
I mean,
Listen to what I'm saying. Who am I?
I was going to suggest.
You can book it out for birthday parties for dogs and have little cakes. I tried to snap my neck on the podcast. I just do the power of the camera.
I bet there's some people from your childhood that you're so glad you lost touch with.
Oh mate, I was on the phone to Sopford on the way here.
Aye.
He's fucking loving this, man. He is loving it. It's like he's just fucking sat back, fucking let his sell a spliff, and he's just watching me decline into this absolute fucking dog sap. After setting me stall out so hard, I couldn't have U-turned and doubled down harder if I tried. Mate, I haven't been trying. This is happening to me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not driving this.
well,
I'm enjoying it.
well.
I'm enjoying it. I'm like, oh no.
Aye.
I'm twisted on my back. Oh,
You could do swingers night where you get them all. It's like take the collars off, put it in a big
put
bowl.
all the colours in a bowl.
Aye, take it out, put that, and then just take somebody else's dog home. Just for a night. Just see what it's
That'd
like.
be nice.
Aye.
I was thinking about like fight night where you get them to fight each other on a bookies.
yeah.
Run a bookies is a little side hustle. You know, there's people put.
Man, I fucking dare you, right? Or you know, it's like, in all these buildings, there's like some doors that you just cannot open. Like you'll have the keys to them, but they'll not be open in general because it'll just be a generator in there with a fucking gas tank or whatever, right?
Right.
A door that comes up. Please just put like Doggy Fight Club with an arrow downstairs, and like a little fake doggy door on
like
it.
a
And
prohibition
just,
thing.
Yeah, just down there, and just see how many people. Just see if anyone goes. Is that an actual fight club?
Is that a fight club?
Is that an actual dog fight club?
Just put like on Instagram, just like two dogs just in like a little pen bit,
Aye.
and just like people waving money.
Aye.
Like they're not fighting, but we're making out like they are. How many people would be like absolutely like, well,
Any publicity is good publicity, man. If people think you're accidentally running a underground dog fight thing, also like not with pit bulls, just with like fucking cockapoos.
poodle mixes. So that's happening soon because look out for it. I'm gonna be fucking talking about it loads on social media. So look out for it if you're in Glasgow and you've got a dog. It's gonna be in East Kilbride, and we'll get the keys on Tuesday.
And that's where my gran lives. So if you want to go visit her as well,
Oh, can
you can double up.
Kill two dogs with two dogs.
Don't kill my gran. That's not why. That's not.
Granny Fight Club.
Oh,
We can have a proper Granny Fight Club going on.
aye, that'd be good.
Whose gran do you think would win in a fight? Your gran or my gran? Considering my gran's dead.
Well, but anything could kill my gran at this point. That's not true. She's still going strong.
How's she getting on? She's good.
Aye, both of them. I mean, it's just, I don't know if everyone it gets, I mean, obviously they fucking don't, but my experience is women will just wholeheartedly outlast men by several years and not deteriorate. Like both my female grandparents can still walk, they're still fully fucking there, like they can cook meals, they can look after them, like they're so fiercely fucking independent. And that's what their husbands were, and then they've just both.
The dudes are just starting to
Aye,
crumble.
I'm just like, you know what, that'd be fun for Cara to go through. Me used to fucking plough her through a fucking headboard, just fucking mash her into the bedroom sex, and then just
I know she's doing it to you. Now the tailors have turned. You're on a drip. And she's just smashing your head through the headboard.
Yeah. How'd you like this? Yeah.
Can't feel anything actually. Cannot feel
Apart from
anything.
love.
Cute.
Aye.
So Natalie's been getting like...
You're going to do like a whites only night?
like KKK 999. I said that joke too quick. It seemed oven ready. Guys, slow down your delivery. It looks like you're planning that night.
This is the time when Natalie would be like, how long you been sitting on that?
Hi, Natalie, I'm literally just fucking encouraging you to set up a dog's park so that we can suggest a white only night so I can crack the KKK 999 joke.
Yeah.
There we go, I'm done. Right, stop the business. We're getting everything I need out of this. She's getting like pangs of anxiety, and I totally get it because like everything where there's like a high dependency on you getting things right for it to work, or like fucking what am I doing? Even like stuff like organising the stag do as best man, right? Like anytime I get a pang of anxiety about that coming up, I'm like, oh, that's because you're not as well prepared as you should be. And then I'll just do like a shit ton of fucking work on it in preparation, and I'll feel good for a little while. I'll be like, right, I'm ahead of things. And then like a couple of weeks later, you'll start feeling another little bit of anxiety creeping in. It's a nice tap on the shoulder to have that feeling. Don't let the feeling be a bedfellow. Don't let the feeling in and fucking sidle up next to you and just be constantly in a state of anxiety. But it's nice to be able to have that to just go, here, you need to fucking sort this shit out. That shit could go disastrously wrong. So she's just trying to like fucking channel that anxiety, and like wish it went to me. I'm trying to, every time I feel anxious, just change it into excitement and be excited. And that's how I did it with stand-up, when I first started doing gigs and I'm really nervous about going on, right? It reminded us of how I would feel in the dressing room before a big football match, right? Fucking nervously tapping me fucking studs off the floor and all that, about to go out and play a good game. But there's nothing in the world that could stop me from stepping on that pitch. I'm going out there and I'm doing it. So I'm nervous, but I'm fucking eager to get out there. So anytime I felt that with stand-up, instead of us getting into fucking flight mode and wanting to not go up, I was like fucking yes, like trying to like harness that energy and just make it work for you. So she's just trying to like deal with that side of it at the minute. I'm fucking so happy for her, man.
I mean,
I'm so proud of
her.
her.
I think it's very exciting because especially because she's let us know about a month ago that she was thinking it. And Cara thought it was a joke initially. Like Cara was like, Natalie's doing this weird bit. I'm like, oh, no, that's Natalie.
Yeah, I could see it. And now this is like certain things that she's done where, like, when we moved to London and like when we bought a house and when we got married and all the stuff that's been like quite life changing for both. I've seen her get this idea in her head, and it's just like there's just a point where the brakes come off and she just makes shit happen. And then I'll just say, oh, this is fucking great because she's heading in such a good direction when the brakes are coming off now. What's that?
Barking out. Jack.
Barking out. I don't even get it.
Barking out. Wasn't that the name of the other concentration camp?
I don't think so.
It's Barking out. Is it?
Belson?
Oh, I know it's. Oh, I should know this.
Do you know, going back to Supper, when I was on the phone with him earlier, he says, I used to think that you two were quite clever. And the amount of times I've been sat listening to this podcast just shouting, you thick pair of fucking cunts.
Auschwitz-Birkenau is the full name of it.
Auschwitz-Birkenau. Auschwitz-Birkenau.
There we are.
There's the name. I bet it's not been taken. I bet it's not been taken.
Surely not. Noah's Bark. That wasn't
you're not Noah. Yeah, but you're not Noah though. So
no, that's true. If you had a dog called Noah, it's not too late to change Peggy's name.
I think Natalie would disagree.
We're gonna have a photo booth in the corner.
I'm sorry.
Photo.
Stick your head through.
Yeah, I think that would be class. Just so that we can call it the paparazzi. But we'll call it the paparazzi now. We're calling it Barker now. How long have you been waiting to tell that one? All of the elements that joke needed to work.
Have you Are we done with this?
You know what? It's going to be ongoing.
Right.
It's going to be my life for the next little while. So,
Yeah.
we're going to keep coming back to it when we've got progress and stuff. But
Have you watched Finding Jesus yet?
no, but your brother was telling us about it and it sounds great.
Aye.
So it's the same people from Finding Drago.
And Finding...
Who I would say Drago, by the way.
What?
Yeah, I'll find the other one.
Finding Desperado.
That's the one.
Finding Desperado, the one I was a voice guest on. And then they've gone to YouTube this time with Auntie Donna's production company, Haven't You Done Well Productions. And they've changed it to the visual format. And it's just done so well. And also there's heaps of Mark Bonanno in it. So if you like Mark Bonanno.
And Matthew was saying it's good. It's a better one to watch than to listen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to watch it.
it.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's so funny, man. Cam obviously we get Cam James on the podcast all the time.
If you're new to the podcast, go back on Podbean, where if you don't know this, right, the archive of all of the podcasts is on Podbean. Spotify or iTunes will only go so far back, but Podbean has all of them, apart from the Patreon specials. But every archive episode that you can't find on Patreon is on there, and you've titled them Two Woke Cooks.
Two Woke Cooks.
And there's 3, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if you're searching for them, use Roman numerals I or II. Two Woke. Or just type in Two Woke Cooks, and them 3 will come up, I believe.
It's his thing with Alexi Toliopoulos, who's also great. But my Cam James to me is one of the funniest people alive. So good. Aye.
So you recommend that? I'm going to recommend a computer game, a PlayStation game, right? So God of War 5 coming out in November, right? So that's me next big game that I'm going to get my teeth into and buy, right? And I looked up games you can complete in less than 20 hours, just as something that I could just take away on. And this one got recommended on a list. I've definitely played more than 20 hours on it now. So either A, I've been lied to, or B, I've just really indulged myself in exploration.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good and unique and interesting. Yeah, it's quite cartoonish, right? But you're on this planet and you've got a rocket ship that you can fly. And so the initial bit, it just seems like it's going to be a 3D platform. But then you get into a rocket ship and you take off, and you can just go to other planets in the solar system, but the solar system's so manageable, so you can take off of one planet, go and land on another one, and that'll have all kinds of shit on it. And as you're exploring, you realise the solar system was previously occupied by another species, and they've been discovering shit, really interesting fucking science around the solar system. And then, I don't know if this is giving too much away, but then you die and wake up exactly where you started, and it's like a Groundhog Day. And you just keep having to find out why the fucking universe is ending, why the solar system's blown up. And you've got a finite amount of time to follow leads that you picked up on from your last exploration. So you always start at the same spot, and you get to different parts of the solar system, and you're just trying to build a bigger picture of who lived here previously and what the fuck's happening and how can I stop it. Because you still have your memory when you wake up after dying. You still have your memory.
Guns and shit?
Huh?
Guns and shit?
There's no other characters. There's a couple of other characters that are your species that are on the planet that you can chat to, but they're unimportant. Everything's about stuff that's been left behind, and it feels like a big escape room.
Okay.
Because there's something that happens on one planet that you can't figure out, and then you read something on another planet, and with that information you can go and figure it out. But if you just guessed, you would have got it right. But there's some things that you just would never have guessed. And I'm fucking so obsessed with it. It's such a fun, interesting, different game. And I have Outer Wilds. It's called. Did I even mention what it was called?
I don't think you did.
Outer Wilds. Not to be confused with Outer Worlds.
Aye, which is also all right.
Yeah, you recommended that to me once, and then that's because you recommended that to me once, and I saw it on this list. I was like, well, that's twice I've heard it's good now, even though you were talking about a different game.
I'm pretty sure I've played a bit of that, but I've not played it all the way through. I was playing, what was the one you recommended to me? The fucking multiple choice one.
Oh, Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, Detroit Becoming Human. It's one of the. It's a decision-making one. It's like if you ever played the Heavy Rain, if you ever played the Walking Dead games or the Game of Thrones ones. What was the company that made those ones? It's you make decisions affects the it's fun because it's you've got to make the decisions quickly. The storyline's dead good and dead engaging, and then I always just get to points in playing those games. I'm like, am I just? This is just a movie. This is just a weirder movie. I'm not playing a game really.
Yeah.
I'm in a cinema where I get to pick
I like that though.
I do for a bit, and never as long as they make the game. Like, for me, the novelty runs out well before my desire to find out what happens at the end.
Yeah.
They're like, but it could be anything. I'm like, mate, it could be one of 6 things.
Yeah. I really like this game that I'm playing at the minute. So like good control wise, because you know when you land in your ship on the planet, right? Like it's actually quite like fucking. It's not easy to maneuver and land the ship, but the gravity changes on different planets. So how you landed on one planet is a completely different like set of like a different sensitivity to land on something where it's like really low gravity, or something that's like 3 times gravity is a completely different control over your
Just
ship.
fucking straight down.
And when you get
Sorry
out,
for that bang.
when you get out, you're in a.
Oh, sorry, is it still? That was my bad.
When you get out the ship, you're in a like spacesuit with a jetpack as well. You know what? It would be fucking excellent on VR. It would be the perfect game on VR. I don't know. I didn't even check to see if it's available on VR, but it would be fucking unbelievable. Also, while we're on VR, tying it all together, when we've got the dog park after hours, that's a massive open space we could get on the VR.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like doggy VR.
And honestly,
We're gonna put the dog on the walk in the plank game and just see what happens. Do dogs have any concept of height? Is the fact that this is colours, it's going to be grey and white in there? Let's see what fucking happens and just watch a full-blown bulldog have a panic attack.
yeah, just come to our park and give your dog anxiety.
Yeah, hey, we know you're anxious. Do you want a dog that's also anxious so you have to walk it less? What's more annoying? Right, walking outside, terrifying, scary. Driving all the way here to walk indoors here, better, still exhausting. Or I'll scare your dog I'll make it never want to go outside again.
That's what you said on the hamster wheels. On the hamster wheels, put them on a thing where they're chasing a cat.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then actually it would make the dog fighting a lot like more ethical if they're just like pawing away at fresh air in different rooms. everyone gathered around the screen. Are they doing dog fighting then? They're like, aye, but they're not getting hit.
Hey, hold on. Have we just... That is ethical dog fighting. That, if you could...
Make dogs fight, but like nobody gets hurt.
Aye, if you were to be able to, I mean, I don't know why we're trying to get dog fighting back. Nobody's asking for this. In fact, people are, but none of them are good people. They're not people I hang out with. But if you could get some type of doggy VR, where I guess in front of them, first of all, you'd have to get like a doggy punching bag shaped in it, just so they've got something that they're actually hitting and gripping
Get a purchase
onto.
on. Just use Cullen.
Aye, but then we need 2 Cullens because we need one for the second one.
He's got a sister. I've never met her, but I just imagine it's him with longer no hair.
I thought you were going to be like, I just thought it would be him with a mustache on, because he does not know what a sister is. He is. He's not an intelligent man.
The end, what we got coming up?
Well, tomorrow we're off to Dublin.
We're going to play golf, aren't we?
We are.
Mate, I went to the driving range because I hadn't been in a while and instantly fucking hit 5 shots straight down the middle, right? Different clubs.
Yeah.
I'd hit it when we pitching wedge and got another 7 and fucking hit it with a driver and hit like 5 on each, right? I'll do the thing and then just slowly declined into nothing. And I was like, how could I remember how to swing a club from fucking a month ago?
Yeah.
Right? Like riding a bike and then forget how to capture what I had 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
What an infuriating sport for cunts.
Yeah.
And then, right, I had 75 balls, right? The middle 50 was gosh.
Middle 50.
Mate, I hit 15 good balls.
Yeah.
Right?
Then 50 of
I'm
you.
doing some terrible maths here, right? And then hit
That's close enough.
And then hit 50 shiters.
Uh-huh. And then 10.
And then that last 10, I was fucking funded me form again and ran out. And I was just like, if I had 50, would I then been good on the last 5?
Yeah.
If I had 100, would I have been then good? Like, how the fuck did that portion, I just completely forget how to swing a golf club? I felt tense, I felt stiff, I was annoyed.
Yeah.
And then, like, towards the end, I'm just, like, casually just fucking lashing them, I'm like, where was that?
We went for a lesson yesterday, me and Cullen, and he was just like, can you just try? And he just gave me one movement. He was like, just try doing this. And I swear to God, I scalped the ball like I've never scalped before, straight as a fucking arrow. and got sewed. I have blisters today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't, I'm too...
That's not how you meant to hold it.
Well, no, maybe I'm just too frail for golf as well.
It's the retirement sport people do when they can't do anything else.
And even me, just little wing me is like, oh God, but it really does bruise my completely unworking hands.
I know, and it's like, you're not even at that, like, you're still at an age where you'd have one good transfer left in you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like... you've got a contract at Sporting Lisbon left in you. You know what I mean? Like,
I could, and then a season in America to sell some tickets in LA. Yeah.
You're not like you'd still fetch a price. You're not a free transfer just yet as an athlete, as a footballer.
But as a human being,
but you're too old for golf.
It's just every time I'm there, like it's. I don't know about you. I get like it's just wanker guilt. Like when you hit a good shot and you're genuinely chuffed. You're genuinely chuffed about hitting a fucking ball in the fucking straight line. Just a little part of my brain goes, you fucking wanker.
Do you know,
that joy's sincere. That's really deep within your heart. That's joy. You fucking loser.
Prick. Looking around the driving range for nobody that saw it.
Nobody cares.
Also, I had somebody walk past my booth and I heard them under their breath going, he's left-handed. As if I was an absolute freak. Just like pointing out, yeah, this.
Aye. Hey. I mean, I think in my ideal world, left-handed people.
You know,
gone. I agree with like the people of 300 years ago, where I do think it is something to do with, if not devil worshipping, witchcraft of some level. It's something wrong on a not a medical level, but on like a soul and conscious level. I do think it's a disorder of sorts.
You know, if there was like a absolute disdain for like a rising like bigotry towards left-handed people,
right? I'd be at the front of that fucking march.
I would so not be asked. You'd get people who are just like protective over their identity and all that, and then fucking really like push it. I'd just be like, whatever. Like, I can't after this for that, whatever. I could not give a
just shrug it off.
You know the way gingers used to be treated?
No, don't.
No. Yes, you do, and we all know why. You were the vendor.
Did you call me a vendor, you ginger fuck?
Yeah, there we go. There he is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that, Beaker's ginger.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's you.
You don't remember when I was like the first times I was on television, I would always get people being like, "You're my favourite redhead." So I'm like,
really?
I'm not. You must remember this. We spoke like this is like talking back to like the first fucking tours.
Mainly,
back when Twitter was fun.
Anybody that saw you on TV would always say that they thought you were taller.
Yeah.
Because you used to do that thing where you were getting interviewed by a woman, you'd stand on a crate.
Yeah. Just to assert dominance.
Just to make it look like you were taller than that.
Yeah. And when I did the Paul O'Grady show, I did do it in high heels. That wasn't a requirement, but when you're in front of
Paul O'Grady.
I want to impress him.
Can't beat them. Not anymore.
It's PC gone. Imagine that. There's a harder U-turn than you and your fucking dog. You're like a full queer bash and homophobe, right? And then they're like, you're not allowed to beat them up. And you're like, fine, I'll be one. That was my only fear, was that someone would beat me up as hard as I beat them up.
But now you're not allowed.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Apparently a lot of drag acts are hard as fucking nails. Which I was at first. I was
big hands and that.
I meant more, but because they have to be given what they do and the bigotry they do.
Shoulders on them and that.
No, what?
No, like I said.
No, I meant more like how often they have to come into a confrontation, and they've learned how to
defend themselves now.
Aye.
I wouldn't know. Just start protesting too much.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got that from. Wasn't me though. I didn't tell you that. No.
I think we've announced Australia dates, have we?
We'll just have now. Yeah.
Well, they'll be out there from April to May next year. We've got Austria dates for next year. We've got another show in Glasgow next year, but it's the same fucking show. It's the same fucking venue. It's the SEC. We've got...
I'm doing a solo show in Newcastle on the 19th of December. It was meant to be the 15th of November, but I got bumped for Alan Shearer.
You stood in the stand in Newcastle?
Aye. In Marlene, I tried. I've already spoke about this to Mark, so sorry if anyone's getting this repeated. But if you don't know, Marlene, I was just like, I've pushed back against this. You had it first, and then I read the email, and it was like, we've made a double booking, a supporters group. We've got Alan Shearer for a Q&A on this date, so we're gonna have to offer Kai one of these dates, and gives a massive fucking list of dates. Like, and she's like, I've pushed back against it. I was like, please don't push back against it. Just see if you can get us tickets for the inconvenience. And they've given us tickets to go and see Alan Shearer.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to see if he'll come along to mine and all.
Good show, man. Good show, man. But do you want to see how it's really done?
That was look. Here's some tips. Give him a couple of notes and that.
You always act like the camera's on. It's not. The audience. Then that screen's not there. They're your buddies. Alan, look at me.
Stop crying. So I got both Alan Shearer, which I'm weirdly proud of.
Aye.
Like a cook.
It's like when Dave Chappelle kicked me off my show and then went, do you want support? And I was like, I mean, obviously, this is...
But then you're not going to go and start saying loads of mean stuff. With trans people are you, Dave? Make us look like a dick.
Don't think you did then.
No, that's what I mean. Like you're just saying, you know, in the future you're not going to...
Aye. Oh, I mean, look, I don't agree with what he says, but I still find most of his fucking stand-up funny. Like, I can separate the two.
I didn't find his stuff that offensive. People are soft.
Aye.
Yeah, I guess. I was actually a bit disappointed. I wanted something harder. It was like, you know, when fucking who was the one that said something about disabled people are Downs, or Tom Segura or something?
Oh yeah.
And there was like a massive furore, and like fucking everybody had an opinion about it on social media. And then I watched the bit, and I was like, I wanted to be more offensive than that.
Yeah,
for
you were expecting a Stanhope bit.
I was like, oh man, like if there's a storm like that, you want it to come from somewhere.
Aye. Well, man, I'm gonna go write some home birth stuff now. I mean, I don't need to. Finn Taylor's got a whole bunch of really good home birth stuff on his special. Fuck, what's his YouTube one called? Something dad. Go type in Finn Taylor into YouTube.
What his specials on YouTube? I'm gonna watch.
He's got two. He's got two ones. God, I can't believe I can't fucking remember it. We'll edit all this out.
Is it on his channel?
Yes.
Give me a second.
And another thing I've been watching.
So My Wife.
That's his new one.
I don't see any others on his channel. That seems to be the only one I can see on his channel.
Well, there is another one out there. Maybe he's selling it now.
I really enjoyed a series on ITV called The Walk-In.
Oh yeah.
With I forget his name all the time, and you've got to remind us he's a Scouser, he's in loads of stuff.
Oh yeah.
He was in Call of Duty.
Yep.
Why can we never remember his name? Every time he comes up, it takes ages. Is it John someone? Like, why am I like this?
Well, probably.
Why am I like this?
Drugs, booze. I mean,
He's in the most recent series of Peaky Blinders. He's in fucking everything. He's the Scouse man that's in everything because he's class. Mm-hmm. What the fuck's his name, bud? I'm hating myself here.
Dirk Kite.
Yeah, he plays a reformed right wing, like extreme right journalist that is staying hope, not hate, and like trying to fucking get to the bottom of like right white terrorism, and you know, like the murder of Joe Cox and stuff, the politician. Like he's basically just trying to fucking disband these like fucking like National Front type organisations, and he gets a walk in, like somebody that's like being fucking like he's found he's selling this group of mates. He's never had any pals, and they're all fucking spouting anti-Semitism and racism that he agrees with, and saying like the Jews are holding back the cure for cancer, and he's died of cancer and shit. So he's finding reasons to hate marginalised groups, and he's got a group of friends. But then when he realises like how far they go and like fucking harming people, his sensibilities are affected, and he fucking starts. You know, he becomes a grass essentially, but he's actually doing the fucking right thing. But he gets labelled as a grass. So it's just this fucking.
Does he actually get get labelled as a grass, or if you just Geordieized it?
No, he gets labelled as a grass.
Right, okay.
And the guy who why can't I remember his fucking name? It's pissing us off. Scouser, that's in everything. The walk-in. I'm gonna kick myself. Yeah. So it shows you how thick cunts get radicalised.
The walk-in.
it shows you how thick cunts get radicalised, basically, and it sees like it helps you like try to understand the fucking rise of the right and how these fucking stupid people end up fucking believing all this shit and find groups and company and all that and the damage it causes. But it's fucking really well done.
Stephen Graham.
Stephen Graham there again. It's right there. So fucking obvious. Anyway, I'm sorry for putting everyone through that. I can't watch The Walk In. It's fucking amazing.
See you next week, cunts.
Bye.